Good. Obviously with these bye weeks, this is our second one this year, kind of stayed the same plan. Really, ever since I came here, we really try to get our main guys, what we call our high rep guys that are getting 50 plays or more in a game, get them as rested as we can. They all work today. We put in a half day with the high rep guys. Now they're getting a little extra work conditioning with Tank, but got a lot of really good reps out there today with our 2s and 3s. Fun to watch. Donovan Leary, fun to watch Trey, the quarterback position, those guys in particular, to get some reps and see them run around offensively. Some of the young old linemen, that we're really using this time to see where we are, what we got to do moving forward. And then defensively, got a lot of young guys that have started playing more to get them some live game reps. Tomorrow we'll do a little bit of Michigan State introduction and some game planning with that. But other than that, been a productive week. I like their attitude, their demeanor. Obviously, last Saturday was a tough one. I think our guys, I showed them, in the clips, the first play of the game where I think everybody on our sideline expected to win that game, and all the way to the last play, the last competitive play where we got the sack fumble, that there was belief on our sideline that we were going to win that game throughout the entire game, and I don't think that's wavered. I like our guys' demeanor. Bottom line, we're a 6-3 football team that's qualified for postseason play, so got a lot of football in front of us and excited to get through with these guys. That's all I got.
I'm sorry. We saw Pat with the boot after the game. Just how is he doing this week, Pat Bryant?
Well, he practiced today, so yeah. He had, he kind of got rolled up there at the end, but no, he practiced today. We'll go.
How are you guys from an injury?
Good question. Trying to think who's injured because we held certain guys out. Xavier couldn't go in the second half, but he practiced out there. He's out there today, limited, but we were really resting him this week. Dylan Rosiak, unfortunately, had surgery yesterday. I think I said that one right. He's out for the year. Really, that's about it. I mean, we're resting guys, but I don't think anybody from an injury standpoint. I do think Barna should be back next week. And actually, Daniel Brown practiced a little bit too, so it could be, now with 3 games remaining, a guy like General Hunt, Rio Sanders, there's a bunch of guys that we can use them in these windows now to get other guys out on the field that haven't been there yet this year to fly under the radar, still be counted as redshirt guys.
After the game, Luke and Pat both talked about they like the tempo that you guys have run with, and they think that fits what you guys do. Do you see it similarly, where maybe you could get into tempo more?
Literally, Luke has been so effective in the end of game scenarios, which is obviously really fast tempo, right? So I think there's a moderate ground there. I do also think that sometimes that benefits us in certain games. I think a lot of that goes into strategy about what defense goes against all year long. Like a lot of times we'll look at that. I'd go, for instance, Oregon, right? They play pretty up-tempo offense. So our offense against that offense, they see it year-round. Just different things like that. But I don't think there's any doubt that tempo has helped us at times this year.
What are you looking for this week from your team? Just anything in general you really want to see? If they bounce back, that thing?
Yeah, tomorrow we'll actually scrimmage our young guys, right? We'll let them go live tackle football, which I think they all enjoy. But I make the point all the time, right? Like, we all enjoy the story of this season. We call it our dash, right? But all of those, the whole story at the end of the year is going to be written by little individual moments, right? And I keep telling our guys, like, all the players that they played with here that they're watching on Sundays are guys that literally put in the daily grind, right? Like, I see guys in the NFL now that I just remember them being with us during a bye week when they were young players and doing things. So I think the message, I know it's not a sexy answer, but it's the real answer, is you just get better at playing football by playing football. And that's what we got to do.
The college football playoff rankings came out last night. Number 1, number 6 were the teams you played already.
Yeah.
Does that make you feel a little bit better about kind of where you are?
I was really interested. If we had won that one last week, I'd like to know where we were going to be. Just because I think we're right there on the cusp of it, but obviously didn't take care of our business. So, learning moment for everybody. I do think that the league is, especially with the 4 new teams, I got a chance Saturday night late to watch the Washington, who did they play? USC, right? And, I hadn't really seen a lot of those films because we hadn't had a lot of crossover with those games. So I saw some of that. I mean, there's just some really good football teams. Obviously, Indiana story is what it is. Ohio State, we played them. We poured Oregon after them, so I saw them on film, offense, defense, special teams, and it's easy to see they're a really good football team. So obviously we saw Penn State, and then nail biter. I didn't get to see the Penn State Ohio State game, but there's just a lot of really good football in the league.
You talked after the Minnesota game about not sending coaches out on the road just because the day is
Yeah.
over, and doing the self-scout. Has that been as productive as you maybe needed?
Yeah, I got back late last night. I was on the road with one other coach, but yeah, my 10 coaches all stayed here, and we're actually going to meet about this afternoon. But I've talked to Barry and Aaron over the last 2 days and just kind of self-absorbed the things that we, kind of look at all the time. But I asked them really, case in point, how did we play when we had tempo? How did our defense play when they had tempo against us? Some things within the game I think are really the stuff I'm trying to find out for this week.
You talked on Saturday. You guys have obviously explored rotating the right guard spot.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a possibility to look at other positions on the line, a realistic rotation, or do you feel like
I
those
wouldn't
are
right
set?
now. I mean, we were working, our 2s and 3s right now, but Geski's playing pretty good football. JC's playing good football. Melvin, it's a little bit up and down, but he's playing pretty good football. So they're right guard, and then obviously Josh is playing good at center. So I think we want to try to get some of those young guys in ways that we did with like Brandon Henderson. Guys that can come in and play like auxiliary positions just to get them reps and see where they're at. But nothing right now in that phase. And I think Saturday those guys were almost 50-50 rep wise. Zai actually rolled his ankle a little bit in the middle of the third quarter, so that was what limited him at the end.
You mentioned Gentle Hunt, and one of your O-linemen told us about what a good job he was
Yeah.
doing on scout team to prep him for Saturdays.
Yeah.
How is he kind of just embraced
Yeah, so
that?
he's a guy that really, we brought him in with the intention of playing him, and then just T-Rod been playing so good, a couple other guys started doing good things, so we have been able to save him, so he'll have actually a red shirt, so he'll have one more year. When we signed him, we thought he'd play this year and be done. He's literally been our look team MVP, I don't know how many weeks in a row. Our offensive guys just talk about him all the time, so he'll be involved in the game plan here these last 3 weeks. Actually, last week he was getting ready to play and rolled his ankle on 2 days before the game on Thursday's practice, so that took him out of that plan. But yeah, I think we'll use him a little more in the back end. He's an incredible high motor, very productive, a really good guy to have in our program.
About a month until signing day.
Yeah.
How do you want to wrap up this 25 class before you obviously get into portal?
Well,
activity?
I wish we don't really have all the answers. Ironically, right? It's crazy. So this is the first class ever in the history of signing days that a head coach won't get to go in the home, right? It's a different year. They moved the calendar around 2 or 3 times now in this signing class, so it'll be the earliest we ever sign. But also, right, we're at a time now where it's unprecedented. Not only do we have 85 scholarships, you can go higher. You can now split scholarships. You can give partials, right? Like all the FCS schools can divide scholarships, halves or quarters or whatever you want to do. So our number is going to be our number. I wish I knew exactly. I think I kind of have a ballpark, but then also, the portal world, I'm not going to be naive to the fact that I'm not going to have a few guys come in and express a desire to look at other options that are out there, and then that takes into effect what you can take as well.
Did you say what you and the staff are doing this weekend? Are you guys here? Are you guys on the road? Or?
Yeah, I'm on the road. I'm going to take in some high school playoffs on Friday night. The coaches will be here all throughout the week. On Saturday, I'll probably give them a day to take a deep breath. We've been grinding pretty good. So, but on Sunday, we'll have a much more enhanced Michigan State prep, kind of like what we do every bye week.
Do you want you guys to watch football and stuff?
Oh
Do
yeah,
whatever
yeah. I think our guys,
Ultimately.
yeah. I think our guys will be locked into the games that we have ahead of us, right? We have 3 games that will be ahead of us, and then for us as coaches, like the prep of Michigan State will change a little bit after one more game, but for the most part, that's in the barn too.
When's the last time you've had a day off? Do you ever get to take a break?
My wife asked the same question. Like I'm out of, it's just it's what you sign up to do. But usually January is the first time you kind of get a little break because of the way the schedule is breaking out this year. December will be a complete zoo, and because now you're in bowl prep, can't go out on the road, but it'll be a live recruiting window for portal and high school kids, so it's a very unique time.
What's the self-scout this week told you about the defense through 9 games and maybe some of the up and down?
When we play on track, we get some good early down, get them into third and manageable. I think third down is something we really want to look at. What's our best personnel grouping out there to get us off the field, right? And it's kind of been a little bit of a unique scenario. I really wanted to look at specifically the second half of obviously Purdue. I wanted to look at the entirety of the Oregon and Minnesota game, and then went back and looked at really the first half of Michigan, right? Just because I think the way it played out, that was kind of as scripted as we had intended it. So looking at some very specific game points, right, and why we had success and why we didn't.
Thank you guys. Thanks.